Hi, this is a demo for a model 1450 Voice of Music, hand-wired, single-ended, Class A tube amp. Puts out about 5 watts, but when you crank it, that can get up close to 10. It's got a great tone, really responsive, simple setup, volume, treble, bass. I have done some mods on this and I'll demonstrate what those do. Basically, it's kind of like your typical Fender Champ setup. Volume, treble, and bass. Pretty clean up to about half. Starts to get dirty and really gets a nice, juicy, raging Marshall kind of distortion. And that will clean up nicely when you turn your volume down. And just really a very responsive amp. This is set treble and bass at flat. I'll back the volume down and give you an idea of the range of the tone controls. Full treble, no treble. A lot of bass on tap if you need it. Usually sounds good, half or so, you know. Now I have added a low gain, high gain foot switch option on this. So you plug into the bottom here with just any standard, you know, Fender one button kind of foot switch, and it will switch from a low gain to wide out, which can be really handy. And I've also added a voicing switch on the back for the low gain setting, which will, this is the humbucker setting, and here's the single coil setting. See, it adds some depth and gain, so when you plug a Strat in there, you've got pretty much the girth you need on your clean settings, and then the full out gain is still the same. I'm going to give a little demonstration here. I'm going to plug in a Big Muff, which is kind of a tone sucker, and run it on the low gain setting, just to give you an idea how nicely this also responds to pedals if you're playing it clean. My apologies to Jack White. So there's a lot of different things you can do with this amp depending on how you want to run it. On that mode you could still be kicking into the amp distortion or a fuzz pedal. And if you wanted, you can run the fuzz on top of the amp distortion, but it gets a little muddy that way, I think. Actually, it is kind of cool though. Sounds like the amp's going to blow up. But just plugging in here without the Big Muff, you can get a lot of tones. You don't even need the foot switch if you don't want, but it's a nice option to have. But you can just go with a volume control like a good old Plexi Marshall and play your clean. Or just pick softer. Here's with the guitar wide out, picking softer.